to another edition of Fantasy Update. It's been another crazy week.
Yeah.
Some would say that. All right, let's get right to it. Recaps for this week. The first one we're going to cover is the game of the week from last week. Not quite as exciting as we were expecting.
No, kind of a letdown there, Chris. Thanks.
What a dick. All right, OBJYN got 135 points, and who they're going to call him, 94.1. And McCoy helped a lot. He got 140 yards with 3 touchdowns, 32.7 points. OBJ stepped up big time, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. And 36.2 points. Once again, Brett's shown he's unstoppable at the moment. But McCoy did just get hurt in practice. Not that we're happy that someone got hurt, but it doesn't look like he's definitely not playing this week. So that could affect his game a lot, and we'll see what he does from here and how he replaces him.
Yeah, and just a tough matchup this week for Chris. Really just outmanned top to bottom here. He had big games from his quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, and Julio Jones came through with a big week for him, but I think Chris really needs to find consistency moving forward. I think that's going to be a key for him if he wants to move his team into the playoffs. So I guess I'll look for that. And I don't know. Hopefully he can get it together there. It'd be exciting to see him make a playoff run.
Yeah.
All right, our next matchup is the newly named Digs Out for Harambe, formerly Christ on a Bike, 100.5 over Bensburgers, 80.6. And John's newly named team really put it together this week. Tom Brady, big game, 27.2 points, really just giving Goodell the middle finger, saying he's bigger than the league, and I'm inclined to agree. He's putting up the numbers to prove it. And Christine Michael is just putting together a nice little season for himself, coming in for backup for the injured Thomas Rawls. There has been some hype surrounding this player for a long time, so it's good to see him finally make good on some of that. And John also is welcoming a new player, hence the new team name. Stefon Diggs will be added to the depth chart this week. Going to add some wide receiver depth to that team. So look out for John. He's making moves. His team's playing well. I'm definitely picking him as a playoff favorite here.
Yeah, and tough week for Mike, for Ben's Burgers, 80.6 points. David Johnson stepped up once again, like usual, 33.3 points, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns. But not much other than that on his team. He falls to 3-3, and hopefully this was just an off week for Mike. He's done well so far this year. He's got talent. He just has to start getting those wins. So we'll see what happens.
Losing Ben, though, is a big blow. Absolutely. Yeah. That's going to be tough to overcome for Mike.
Yeah. So I can't remember who he said he's putting in for quarterback this week, but it's certainly not. I think Alex Smith. Not quite Ben
Alex
Roethlisberger.
Smith, there you go.
But, could be a good plug and play. We'll see.
All right. Our next matchup. Kind of scraping bottom of the barrel here. This girl is on fire. 108.9 over Morning Woodhead, 93.6. So
the battle to not be last place.
Yeah, this girl is on fire is making a case to not be last here. He's takes down Jerry. Big game from Jonathan Stewart coming back off injury, 20.5 points. Really solid performance from him. And really, Jonathan Stewart just led the way for John's team with an all-around sound performance. I think he had all but 2 players in double digits this week. They really looked good and put up over 100 points and took it to Jerry this week. So nice work, John. Way to move yourself off the bottom of the barrel there.
Yeah, stay tuned for the power rankings. We'll see how this affects where they're positioned. It'll be pretty exciting. And Cam Newton, 27 points, 3 total touchdowns. Another great week for him. I'm sure Jerry's glad to have him back. And Terrell Pryor, 24.3 points, 2 touchdowns. Very nice, although I think he's hurt as well. So we'll see if he plays this week. But once again, not much else going on with this team. So hopefully he can make some moves, pull something together, and start getting some wins here as well. And all right, our next matchup, it's Team McMahon versus Dak and Decker. 101.7 for McMahon, 90.2 for Benny Boy over here, Benny Plus. It was a big win for James, Gronk, Andrew Luck, and Cobb came up big. They scored 60 points he just had a solid week against you. He was projected to lose for most of the weekend, and he pulled off the upset. So much to your dismay.
Yep. Congrats, Team McMahon, on a nice win this week. I really laid into you hard on last week's episode, and you took it to me this week, so hats off to you. One bright spot, we had Matt Jones, 19.5 points. I'm really looking for him to get some consistency moving forward. He's had a couple of big games for me this year, but hasn't been able to do it on a week-to-week basis, so I'll be looking for some improvement in that regard. And it'll be good to have my number one scorer coming back this week. Vikings defense, accompanied with the dynamic leg of Adam Vinatieri. Top 2 scorers on my team. Defense and special teams don't win championships because you're 2-4. That's what happens when D and your kicker lead the team. But none to say. It's exciting to watch the Vikings D play. Hopefully they can get in the end zone against me for an upcoming tough matchup against Brett. So,
yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. In our next matchup, why did I draft Golden Tate with 77.5 points? Eking it out against Brown versus Board of Education. Mark got 66.7 points, so Joey pulled off the win. Not very valiantly, but a win's a win. Matt Stafford carried the team. He got 4 touchdowns. It's pretty good. He got 28.2 points, while the Los Angeles Rams defense almost lost it for Joey, 0 points. That could have made or broken the week for Joey if he played anyone else, but luckily he played Mark, who had an off week, and he still got the win. So,
yeah, nice win, Joey. I mean, it's not always pretty, but like you said, a win's a win. But, just a rough week again for Mark. I've been hyping this team up all season. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Sitting at 2-4 now. I'm still convinced it's bad luck. I like the look of his team on paper. That injury to Roethlisberger is definitely going to hurt Antonio Brown's value. So we'll see how that affects him moving forward. But, this week is just a rough showing. No one showed up. Rodgers led the team with only 12.5. He was the top scorer for the team. And, he left a lot of points on the board, on the bench, rather. He started Darkwa, 0 points. A plug-and-play for Ware or Jay Ajayi. They combined for 50-plus points on the bench, so either one of them would have won him the game, but it won him the fuck-up of the week.
You done fucked up. And one other thing I forgot to mention is Joey benched Golden Tate this week, who happened to get 26.8 points on his bench. So, Joey, you better be counting your lucky stars, because you could have easily been the fuck-up of the week if you played anyone else.
That would have been epic.
Yeah, so we'll see if he plugs him in from now on, or if anyone takes him up on some trades.
That trade offer's looking better now. Trade
value is skyrocketing right now, and it'll probably plummet again next week. So let's see if he can take advantage of this ripe opportunity. All right, moving on to our last matchup. It's Miller time with 116.5 points against Zeke Alik with 73.5. And you know that sound? It's the blowout of the week. That's right, I got the blowout. That Breeze Cooks connection that I keep talking about, they proved it this week, 59 points together. That's pretty nice. And Lamar Miller also found the end zone for the first and second time this year, which was nice. He got 31.3 points for me. So it felt good. It's nice to get a win again, and hoping that we can just keep the ball rolling and go from here with this next matchup.
Hey, nice win, dominating fashion, upheld the honor of the house this week, the only one to get a win out of the 3 of us here. I'll say watching Lamar catch that second touchdown, make the entire Colts team just look like amazing. Pop Warner. That was pretty awesome. But Zeke Alik, 73.5, just another low-scoring week for Nick's team. Zeke, his stud players leading the way with 18.4. It's a solid effort, but I think Nick's really going to need to go out there and look out there on the trading block. He needs another big playmaker to complement Zeke's ability if he wants to move forward in this season. So he's still in the hunt, but I think he's going to need to make some moves if he wants to make a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and with that, we now have an exclusive interview with the coach of Digs Out for Harambe, John Keller.
Ooh.
This is a treat. I sat down with this young man, and he's something else. We'll just say that. So enjoy. Here you go. Thanks for meeting up with me, John.
Thank you for inviting me.
With Coach John Keller of the Joy Marsh League. It's an honor.
It's an honor to be here, Ryan.
Oh, thanks. All right, let's get started. So I'm just going to ask John a couple questions, just get to know him, as a coach, and just profile, get a nice little bio of John.
Yeah, it'd be too much to be the coach of the league, right?
Yeah, you're not coach of the league.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So for the past couple of years, you've been at the bottom of the pack, a low life,
Right.
an embarrassment
Right.
in our league. Now you're sitting at number 3 in the power rankings.
Yep.
My question is, how did you get so lucky this year?
I'll be honest, I have to credit some of it with the fantasy update. It's definitely driven me to give a shit a lot more about fantasy because I don't want to be ridiculed in front of 12 people every week. That'd be just too much for my psyche.
It's the worst.
Yeah, that'd be the worst. So that's honestly what's kept me, active on the waiver wire. It's something that's, constantly fueled me to give a shit about fantasy this year. So
That's good to hear.
F you.
Nice.
It's the best. It's the best.
All right.
Yeah.
Next question. Who's your biggest rival in our league?
Okay. Well, you really have to answer it. I would say Mike Long, and I mean that doesn't need to be answered. I would say it's kind of implied. It seems that Mike and I have been, I would say thrust into an eternal battle that the universe has placed us within, and it manifests itself in fantasy this year. And I mean,
Yeah.
results speak for themselves. So I realize that's not the war, but I definitely want to bet on this.
You got the big win this year.
Yeah, I did.
Congrats on that.
I did.
That was a nice,
So I'm riding high.
a nice matchup for you.
Right. Yeah, it was great.
We'll see how this rivalry develops in the future.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So how do you balance work and family?
By work, I assume you mean my most important job, which is the manager of Digs Out for Harambe. That's my new name.
New name alert.
Yep, new name alert. Hashtag Digs Out for Harambe. If it's not trending now, it will be shortly after this airs. Work and family. It's tough. Cruising the waiver wire every Tuesday takes at least 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes that I can't, talk to Dave. That's 10 minutes that I can't, text my mom about how her day's going, so it's a hardship, you try to do the best you can, but I think everyone in my life understands my priorities, and number 1 is fantasy, number 2 is everything else, so.
Wow, that's incredible.
Thanks.
All right. So at 11 a.m., a train leaves Pittsburgh to go to New York,
Are you fucking joking?
traveling 60 miles per hour.
I was not fed any of these questions, okay, so this is real life.
At the same time, a different train leaves New York to go to Pittsburgh, traveling 50 miles per hour.
Okay.
They're approximately 360 miles apart from each other.
Right.
At what time will they intersect?
I would say by Sunday when I'm gonna kick your ass in fantasy.
Okay. That's not what I had planned, but I'll take it.
Yeah, unconventional. Just like the way my team wins every week.
Nice. Alright, describe your perfect Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just described what I do for 10 minutes every Tuesday, which is cruising the waiver wire. I would say before, this fantasy obsession that I picked up this year, my perfect Tuesday would probably be something like, after Tuesdays after work, I play soccer with some coworkers, and that's usually a pretty fun activity. After that, I might, go Pokemon hunting or Pokemon Go with Babe, but now that's all less important than fantasy and cruising the wire. So, any Tuesday that I get to spend cruising the wire is the perfect Tuesday.
Wow.
Hashtag these up.
Amazing. All right. Would you say you're more of a lizard or a salamander?
Oh, wow. Well, so I actually have to answer this. So when I was growing up, we had like a window well, and it was full of salamander, like
Wow.
all the time.
Yeah.
Literally, they were just going at it like rabbits. So I would say after catching hundreds of salamanders in my lifetime, that is maybe pretty solidly salamander person.
Incredible.
Courageous. So I'm saying courageous. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but courageous is a good word. So,
That's how I describe it.
yeah.
All right. You've said previously that if you've got haters, you know you're doing something right.
Yes.
What do you think is your most hated quality?
I would just say some call it cockiness, some call it confidence. You know, tomato, tomato. I call it, the quiet confidence that comes with being born into the Joey Marsh League. That would be my most hated quality. Also, my most understood quality.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Misunderstood quality. Sorry, I misspoke.
All right. And this question's a little controversial, but they said I had to ask it.
Okay, yeah.
Just due to recent events.
Okay.
You've been quoted as saying, "When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy."
Wow.
Would you care to comment on that?
Here's the thing. I think everyone's a sportsman in this league. It's locker room talk. It's talk that we've had in the locker room sometimes about, committing sexual assault on women. I mean, we've all been there, right? I mean, I think that resonates with everyone else. Right.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, do you have any other comments or anything you'd like to say to the league?
No. Maybe I would like to say watch out for Digs Out for Harambe on Twitters, hashtag it, tweet it, snap it, whatever you kids are doing nowadays. All valuable and all build the hype for this train that isn't stopping.
Great. Well, this was so nice. Thank you so much for meeting up with me,
Yeah.
John. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to see you too.
Look out for John in the Joey Marsh League. Not this week since we're playing. It's gonna be pretty rough for him, but other than that, watch out for hashtag Digs Out for Harambe. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Halloween break.
Chance the Rapper. Give me a break. Just give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. That's a good song. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
And we're back. You know what time it is? It's time for Coach of the Week with Ben.
All right, here we go. Coach of the week. Our coach who is on the hot seat this week, we have Mark, coach of Brown vs. Board of Education. 66.7 out of a possible 121.7. That's a measly 54% efficiency rating. That's nearly half the points still left out on the bench. I will give him credit. It's hard to predict Jay Ajayi going off for 200 yards. Don't really see that coming, but nonetheless, Marcus finds himself on the hot seat this week. And for our coach of the week, we once again have Mr. Mike Lai. He didn't get it done this week. He got handed a loss, but he had a 91% efficiency rating, doing all he can with what he's got. I'd say he's making the right decisions. He'll turn things around, come back off this loss, and learn from it, and look for him to rack up some more wins moving forward.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. He's a great coach, so I think the team will follow and go from here. But we're running, the season's. We're getting into the season, deep into it. So if you want wins, you got to start getting them now.
Yeah.
It's now or never. All right. Now let's move on to the power rankings for this week. There was a little bit of movement, nothing too crazy, but definitely some changes. So number one, of course, is Brett. We all knew that was going to be the case. He's dominating. Number two, John Keller, moving up. He had a nice win this week. Number 3 is me, moving up a little bit as well with the win. Number 4 is Mike. He had that tough loss, so he fell a couple spots, but he's still in the top 4. That's not bad. Number 5 is Chris, followed by Joey. That's our top 6. Next up is James, followed by Nick, and then Mark. He dropped a little bit this week too with his tough loss. Number 10 is you, Ben, followed by John Brown. He's no longer in last place. It was short-lived, just for 1 week. And then Jerry, you're back at the bottom, buddy. Sorry, when you lose to John Brown, you gotta drop, man. So it's just the way it is. So there you go, power rankings. Next up is the game of the week. I'm honored to say that I'm part of it. It's Miller time against Diggs out for Harambe. So we're both 4-2. The only ones 4-2 in the league right now, and other than Brett's 5-1, everyone else is 3-3 or lower. So this is a pretty crucial matchup. So I'm excited to see how it pans out. I might be switching up my team a little bit this week. I'm not really sure yet. Don't want to give out too many secrets. But with Doug Martin out, that leaves Jaquiz Rogers in to plug in as the starter for the Buccaneers. And, I have Mike Evans. So I'm going pretty big on the Bucs this week.
Bucs, baby.
They're playing against San Francisco. They've got a horrible defense. So I think I might do that. And then on a similar note, LaShawn McCoy out this week. I picked up Mike Gillislee, his backup, and I'm thinking about starting him as well. So it could be a bust. I don't know, but I'm feeling pretty confident about these guys. I might bench Lamar. I'm not really sure yet. There's a lot of things that I'm not really sure. And also I might do Mariota as well. He's had a couple crazy games in a week, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. You got to give your starters a rest sometimes. You can't let them be going out 100% nonstop. So that's how I've got it set up right now. It could easily change before then, but those are my studs for the week. So we'll see.
All right, well, I say it every week, but this is the week. It's happening. Diggs out for Harambe. Ryan seems a little unsure of his team. Doesn't know what he's quite doing yet. But I know one thing for sure. Diggs out for Harambe. He's going to take it to Ryan this week. Tom Brady on the Fuck You NFL Tour Part 2. Going to go ham. He's going to go off. It's just a given. Every week he's throwing to Gronk. They're back together, working it just like old times. It's fun to see, fun to watch. AJ Green, big time stud. He's due for another big game. He's cooled off the last few weeks, but he's got another 12 reception, 180-yard game in him here. So I think it's going to come out this week. And then you got the newly added Stephon Diggs coming off an injury. Should see the field this week, so it'll be exciting. No doubt Diggs is looking to make an impact on John's team and prove that he belongs on a top-tier team.
We'll see. I'm still 100% on all my picks for Game of the Week, so I'm pretty confident that I'm going to pull it off again.
How confident are you feeling?
100%. What's
Should we make a bet for next week's show?
Sure.
What are you feeling? How confident are you?
Like, are we talking money, or
no,
are we talking
just something? You have to do something crazy on next week's show.
Just we'll decide at a later date, or do we decide right now what the crazy thing is?
We can talk about it, and then we'll come back with you to a midweek announcement for next week's show.
We'll post it on Facebook or something.
All
right, let's do it. Whatever it is, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Stay tuned for that.
All right, and with that, that's another fantasy update. It's a wrap. Good luck to everybody out there, other than John and John Keller, of course, not John Brown. I hope you do well, and we'll see you all next week.
See ya.
Bye.